Happy Monday. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Sneak Preview, where we cover the current film release calendar. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Austin Johnson.
Today, we're discussing the recent Apple TV Plus release, Cherry, starring Tom Holland. We'll also briefly discuss The Father, which I was finally able to see. Going to be an interesting episode since we both have a lot of issues with Cherry. But yeah. First, let's see what happened last week in film.
Last week in film.
First up, trailer time. Two trailers to discuss. First up, The Unholy, a new horror movie starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Cary Elwes, and William Sadler, set for release on April 2nd. And this looks intriguing. I don't know if you were able to see this trailer.
No, I have not. I'm behind on all kinds of stuff. I'm very locked into the Oscar stuff that's going on. Obviously, right now, well, we're recording this on Sunday night, so the nominations have not come out. As you're listening to this, you can probably see them online. So I have not really seen anything else, any trailers or anything. I have seen the newest trailer while watching TV of Godzilla, King Kong Godzilla. That I just amped for that, of course, but. No, man, have not got around to this.
It could go either way. It's about a woman who claims that the Virgin Mary has bestowed upon her the power to heal the sick. And she can heal the sick. And Jeffrey D. Morgan's a reporter who goes to investigate this and discovers that it might not be angels behind this healing. So I'm intrigued. It might be, demons disguising themselves as angels who are here to corrupt the soul of a pure virgin or some shit. I don't know, but I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I'll check. I'm sure I'll see the trailer at some point soon.
Yeah. That'll go. I'm sure, that'll come up on one of our podcasts at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Next, the long-awaited trailer for City of Lies, a biopic about the Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur murder investigations, starring Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. This was supposed to come out back in 2018 until Johnny Depp was sued for assault and the film was indefinitely shelved. And of course, he had his tumultuous divorce, and Johnny Depp has become kind of a pariah in some circles, which is, I think, unjust. And I'm hoping that people see this. It's set for release next Friday, March 19th. I don't know where it's going to be launched at, but I'm glad that it's finally coming off the shelf.
Hell yeah. Captain Jack Sparrow, baby. This is a guy that I agree with you. I think has had a kind of a rough go of it for, you can call it unjust reasons. I think it's been accused of all sorts of things that are probably not true. But yeah, I think that's like a whole another conversation that could be, Johnny Depp's career, and then of course the past few years, like you said, with his divorce and with Amber Heard. It's like its own Filmgazm episode.
Yeah, it's crazy. Considering all the character references that came out in defense of Depp and all of his fans rallying behind him, I don't buy it for a second that he's a wife beater. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, and it's not really. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Those, of course, those kind of accusations are really, really tough and really huge. Really, well, they're huge. To say that about somebody.
Yeah.
If your wife is going to say that about you, that's massive, and it can obviously end your career. So
yeah.
You really hope that he is like if it is it's true that all that stuff didn't happen, then yeah, he's able to kind of have a next phase of his career.
Well, he's got like Amber Heard on tape admitting to abusing him. I mean, there's a pattern of behavior here. He's got what he needs, but the court of public opinion tends to side with the wife in these cases. About physical abuse against men in relationships is still not taken very seriously, regrettably. And this is just another one of those cases. And I want Depp to have a career resurgence, almost just to spite her. At this point, I do. I want him to, I want to see like the performance of his career, an Oscar win, $500 billion box office. Like, I want him to go back to the tippy top of the A-list and then just, kiss her goodbye.
I want Sweeney Todd 2. That's what I want.
Oh, he's dead.
No. I need the prequel. I need to know everything that happened prior. Yes.
You know what? Todd in prison would be a cool movie.
Yeah. No, I think there's plenty of stuff in his whole life that would be really interesting. And a Ghost of Sweeney Todd would be fun to watch as well.
My God, like the kid grows up to be a serial killer and he's got Todd like on his shoulder at all times. Oh my God, that would rock.
Animated, this time animated, Tim Burton. Yeah. Stop motion.
Interesting rabbit hole we found our way down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
always.
City of Lies, check it out. Yeah, I mean, I believe Johnny Depp. I'm in his corner.
I believe in Johnny Depp and that he'll have a next phase of career that is very strong. Yes.
Here's hoping. Next up, this was weird. John Cleese and Rob Schneider are teaming up for a comedy about the Great Emu War. If you don't know what that is, here's the very true story of the Great Emu War. Following the long, hot summer of 1932, wild emus in the Murchison district of Western Australia went on the rampage in search of food and water, much to the chagrin of local farmers who feared for their crops. In a bid to stop the advancing emus along the rabbit-proof fence, farmers enlisted the help of the army. Armed with machine guns, a party led by Major Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery were sent to the Campion district, where it was estimated 20,000 emus were causing damage. However, due to the abundance of food, the emus were gathered in small groups, most of which were outnumbered by the 50 settlers who had turned out to meet the soldiers. A group of 40 emus was sighted, and beaters were sent to herd them into firing range. A dozen birds were killed. In an attempt to improve its tally, the army resorted to ambush tactics. This is a war against emus.
Yes.
Later the same afternoon, the guns were set up at a dam close to sundown. 100 birds approached to within 100 meters. The gunners opened fire. The birds scattered and dispersed. The following day, a similar strategy was employed in a paddock where emus had caused widespread damage. This time, a flock of more than 1,000 headed for water and the waiting guns. Again, the birds ran off. Their escape aided by the machine guns jamming. Onlookers were surprised by the emu's ability to sustain injury and keep running. Less than a week after the Emu War had begun, Defense Minister George Pierce ordered a withdrawal. So not only was there a war against emus, but the Australian military lost that war. So
the best. Oh my God. The best part of all of what you just said was when the onlookers were impressed by their ability to sustain wounds and keep moving. I just imagine them, together, these emus, and they're looking at each other. Come on, Nigel, let's keep it moving. We got this.
I just picture like 300, like a Gerard Butler type, like Leonidas emu, like hold fast, birds. Yeah. Holy shit!
Steady.
This is gonna make a great movie. I can't.
Oh, I'm in. I am in, and let me choose the voice cast of the of the emus.
I want what would be so cool is the human side of it is so Monty Python goofy, but then the emu side of it is super Full Metal Jacket, Apocalypse Now, hardcore war film.
Yeah. There's a Patton character just bossing everybody around. Oh, Jesus Christ. That would be I'm in. I'm already in, but I know that our idea in our heads is already better.
No emu ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor Australian son of a bitch die for his country.
There's like a Donnie Donowitz emu who's like, I'm Teddy fucking Williams.
Bear emu.
Man.
Holy shit,
God.
This is gonna be weird. Oh my God. They lost. They couldn't take down a bunch of birds. Like they spent resources on this shit and couldn't do it. That's incredible. Can you imagine the incompetence hearing of that defense minister? Like, so you lost the Emu War there. I'll hear your rebuttal.
Oh man,
This ought to take
incredible
5 minutes at best. Oh my god.
I love it. I could go down that rabbit hole
On your
for a long
military
time.
resume, 1932, like lost Australia to the emu grapes. Like, I would like, how hilarious would it be if just in 1932, like Australia was conquered and like colonized by the emus? Like they just took over the fucking country.
Oh man.
When you lose a war, you lose land. You lose everything.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Well, we can look forward to that movie.
Yes, certainly. Obviously, I'm amped.
Oh, next up, Steven Spielberg is directing a movie based on his own childhood, because we are officially like reached the point where culture is eating itself. And
Oh, you can say that again. Yeah, it's eating its own puke at this point. Yeah.
so it's going to be about the time Spielberg spent as a child living in Arizona. Michelle Williams is in talks to star.
Hell yeah, good for Steve and Michelle. That's a nice little duo.
Have they worked together before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I'm not confident enough to say no.
Yeah, neither am I, because obviously Steven has so much stuff. But just off the top of my head, from his recent work, that she would even be able to be in? No. I don't know. Maybe we're wrong, but I'm going to go with no.
Next up, Kenneth Branagh is directing a currently untitled biopic about the Bee Gees. So that'll be coming out soon. Good choice. I think Branagh's a pretty decent director. Nothing too flashy, but I've rarely been disappointed by his work.
Yeah, no, this is like fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff you want to see. I kind of thought of you when I read about this, to be honest. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, surely this is going to be brought up.
I love the Bee Gees.
I know, and biopics. Yeah, come on. Like that's your thing, you know. And you know, with biopics, you go into it knowing sometimes might be shit, might be pure shit, but you're still going to have a couple scenes in there where the actor's probably going for it full on, man. You know, it's a performance driven genre, you know, and you got actors who are able to kind of do amazing things when playing these kind of, whether it be iconic or unknown characters, real life people.
Yeah.
It can be really fascinating. And Bee Gees, that's awesome.
Well, I bet they go the Bohemian Rhapsody route, where they don't actually have the lead actors sing, because nobody can sing like Barry, Maurice, and Robin Gibb. I mean, they had, you know, there was a range they reached that was unheard of. So as long as we get some, you know, good performances and a good story, I'm okay with them not singing, because no way.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell by the way I use my
They're going to call this movie either Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, or More Than a Woman. I guarantee you. But they should call it Nights on Broadway.
Yeah. I think Staying Alive is probably the most like obvious route, kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody. But that brings up an interesting thought. If there was another song title for Bohemian Rhapsody, for like the Queen movie, what would you choose?
Easily Killer Queen.
Killer Queen. Yeah. See, I was thinking something like more, you know, like, I don't know, like just real random, you know, from them, like Don't Stop Me Now. I don't know, you know, something.
That's not bad.
I wouldn't say that's a random song. Like that's, you know, it's a hit, but
surprised they didn't go We Are the Champions.
That would be a cool one. Yeah. You could do, We Are the Champions, of course. I mean, they have so many just awesome titles for tracks, you know. Another one, Bites the Dust, you know.
That's a little dark.
I guess that is for a movie that's about
they would have gotten some emails.
But that would be a cool title for a film, you know, just not about specifically Queen. Oh yeah. That's a fun game to play though, with different kind of biopics about whether it be bands or whatnot, or an artist. There's one that just came out, United States versus Billie Holiday. They could have chosen Strange Fruit. They could have done something different. I don't know.
You think Rocket Man was the best title for the Elton John biopic?
For sure, for that. I mean, yeah, I think that's like the most recognizable. And what are you going to call it? Tiny Dancer, So
I will say no.
I mean, I like that song much more. That's probably my favorite hit of Elton John's. But Rocket Man, I think, just makes more sense with where they went with the film.
Yeah. My personal two favorites are Honky Cat, which no, and Still Standing, which I think would have worked.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm still standing. I'm still standing. That's pretty lovely when it's on the end of the movie Sing. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I loved Rocket Man. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it unfortunately, I think was a film that got caught last year in between, it did well at the Golden Globes and then didn't do so hot at the Oscars, and it kind of got caught in between that no man's land. But I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's solid.
Still got that one win. Best song.
Yeah, but I think people were thinking there's gonna be more love for, like Taron Egerton, and whatnot, and different stuff. I don't know. It's a solid movie, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I enjoy that movie a lot. I thought it was way better than Bohemian Rhapsody, personally. I think it should have had all of Bohemian Rhapsody's love.
It's far better. I don't think there's really a contest. Plus, you got a guy actually singing.
Yeah, really well too. He does a
job. Yeah, he does a good job. I think there's just something to say when you're stacking up two biopics that are about musicians, about artists, and one went for the main thing that they do and the other didn't. Yeah. Just doesn't make any sense. But that conversation, you and I are kind of like close the deal because Christian Bale should have won, so it doesn't really matter against Rami Malek. So
yeah. Well, Rocket Man was the next year, so that would be the next Oscar.
Yeah, but had Christian Bale beat Rami Malek, it wouldn't have mattered. We wouldn't be talking about Taron Egerton getting the love because Rami Malek wouldn't have gotten the love. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
It would have changed Rocket Man's destiny had it not had to live up against fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, which is just not as good. Yeah.
We gotta get that Vice episode rolling on Oscar Sunday to unpack all this.
Yeah, and on Oscar Sunday, we have definitely come across more movies that you and I are like, we got to do that so we can. and we try to jump around all over the place, but there's going to be times where we got to just pin down movies we love.
Yep, which we just did this past Sunday.
Exactly. Every now and again, you got to do an In Bruges.
Oh yeah. Moving on, Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe have signed on to star in Yorgos Lanthimos' new Frankenstein-esque film, Poor Things. So you're getting your dream team.
Yeah. I mean, is there an actor working right now that you would want on Yorgos Lanthimos, roster more than Dafoe?
In a Frankenstein kind of movie? No.
in any Lanthimos movie, with all the guys he's worked with, Defoe's the one that's like, yeah, I mean, he's the man. He's had this kind of renaissance, in his career, lately, where this whole resurgence really, where he's got these, Oscar nominations and just kind of has won fans over, especially with The Lighthouse from 2019, just kind of just took people by the heart, and everybody loves that character. And so to pair him, with this director who's obviously willing to go places, and then you get someone like Emma who's going to come on back because she's like, I want more. That's one of my favorite things that can happen to kind of pay attention to, with the auteurs and our favorite directors. And for myself, Yorgos is certainly one of my favorite guys right now. Is if he gets someone's attention, they're like, I want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to work with that guy again, like Colin Farrell working with him is like, yeah, I want to keep going with Yorgos. I love that. And for Emma to come back and then to also bring on Willem Dafoe is kind of a dream.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And now, I'm pretty I wouldn't say I'm super well versed in Yorgos, but I have seen my fair share at this point.
For sure. What have you not seen?
Alps, Canetta.
That's it.
That might be it.
That's it. You've seen Dogtooth.
Yeah.
You've seen The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Favorite. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. There's 6 right there. Yeah.
Well, all right.
So,
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and Canetta, is his first one. That one's real odd. And then Alps, I think you'll dig some aspects of it. I think you'll feel similarly to it as you did Dogtooth. I think you'll dig some stuff about it. Certainly, in my opinion, I mean, I'm a fan, huge fan of Dogtooth and Alps, but I think as a filmmaker, I think he has improved. I think he kind of outdid himself with The Favorite.
Yeah. So
at this point, it's kind of like, all right, buddy, what the hell else is up that sleeve? Because you're churning them out now. Over the past, but Canetta was 2005. So this is, he's going on 7 films now in 15 years, 16 years. It's impressive.
When Poor Things comes out, I'm going to finish the journey. I'm going to just go ahead and watch Canetta and Alps, so I have a full scope of his career. And obviously, we'll cover that on this show.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's up there. He's up there with working guys. There's quite a few that come to mind, but when I'm thinking in their prime, where I'm thinking they're making their best stuff right now,
yeah,
he's one of the very first names that comes to my head.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I think you'll like this. Toni Collette is making her directorial debut with an adaptation of the novel Writers and Lovers by Lily King. So,
oh yeah,
very cool. We got to see Lily King do that this past year. Very neat to see Toni throw her hat in the ring.
Robin Wright just got to do that. You saw that.
Yeah, Robin Wright did
it. Sure, there's stuff. There's ladies we're missing, of course, but it. There's statistics that have come out about certain, award shows and how they haven't nominated women for so long. It's just obvious statistics that just so in favor of men over women, Yeah. And this right here is one of the fundamental things that has made that, scale so heavy on the men's side and so light on the women's side is because first off, people don't pay attention to all of the films. They pay attention to what they believe is popular. And, that's a whole nother conversation, but women, female actresses, someone like Toni Collette or Regina King, 40 years ago, very, very, very difficult to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame, but we're just now seeing this kind of liberation, women in film, and they're totally kind of taking this mantle, and we're watching it right now, and I hope people are paying attention. Chloe Zhao and Regina King, coming out with a movie just this past year, they both just directed their asses off, and it's two totally different kind of directing styles too. I hope people pay attention to stuff like that. Stuff is really important, and when someone like Toni Collette, Robin Wright had her movie, that shit matters, man, because forever, Robert Redford's just walks off and is like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this too, or, any of those, you can name any of those guys. They walk out and it's just, I think I'm going to try this now, and
Warren Beatty, George Clooney, Clint Eastwood. Yes. Yeah. No, it's a lot easier for a dude to just kind of Bradley Cooper to just kind of waltz off and I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Ben Affleck. And this is important. This is the start of a revolution in movies. And I hope people, kind of reckon with that and get excited for it. Because I sure as hell am. It's beautiful to see actors and actresses direct other actors because they fucking get them. Yeah.
They totally understand them. It sometimes can backfire, maybe other areas of the film lack, but they certainly know how to, put the camera on their actors and help them figure out what's going to be best for them in this moment because they get it. They've been in their shoes. And Toni Collette, who better? A lady who's worked with so many amazing filmmakers, so many amazing actors and actresses, and for her to be able to do this is it should have come a long time ago.
Yeah, I just I hope it's a good story. I hope that she has a good debut, a film that people want to see and allows her to do more.
100%. Yeah, man. I'm wicked excited for that.
Next up, Carrie Elwes, Indira Varma, Rob Delaney, and Mark Gatiss have all joined the cast of Mission Impossible 7, currently in production and set for a November 19th, 2021 release, but that is optimistic. This is turning into an interesting cast. The Mission Impossible franchise is one of the few franchises that is only getting better, weirdly. Fallout Part 6 was fucking awesome, if I do say so myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm psyched. I don't know what the hell Cruise is going to do to top himself beyond like going to the fucking moon at this point, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, he's 59 years old now, and
really,
he's 59, and you just got to think that when is this ever gonna end? The guy is indestructible at this point. I can't really believe that he's still going.
Dude's gonna be 59 in July. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
God, maybe there is something to this Scientology.
Oh man. What's really funny is he's born on July 3rd, and there's born on 4th of July. Yeah, 1989.
Holy shit!
Science,
so close.
Scientology. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god.
His IMDb picture is fucking frightening.
Yeah, I can't even do it. The Tom Cruise smile is like trademarked. I can't do it.
Yeah, he looks like the Joker right there. Yeah.
I can't. I keep trying. I just look insane.
Yeah, so does he.
He's a great actor. I do detest him as a human being, but he's a great actor.
Oh yeah, I love some stretches of Tom Cruise's career for sure. And yeah, oh my gosh, think he's like totally misunderstood. I think his acting career is totally misunderstood, and that's obviously got a lot to do with his off camera. Just like you said, he's just kind of ridiculous. So yeah.
Ron Howard is developing a film based on the Thai cave rescue from a few years back. You remember that?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Ron Howard is the guy.
Where Elon Musk showed up and was like, I'm going to help everybody. But then he realized it wasn't a photo op, so he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But check out this cast. Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, and Joel Edgerton.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of folks I haven't heard of who are what is the location of this movie?
Takes place in Thailand, but I don't know if they're filming it in Thailand.
Okay, I'm not sure because I think a lot of the actors are actually from Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. When I looked at the cast, I think that might be right. Maybe I just because I saw those names too, and I was like, damn, who else? And then I saw a bunch of names that I hadn't heard of before, and I was like, fuck yeah, cool. They're really going for it in this one.
The film's currently titled 13 Lives, and Ron Howard has a hell of a track record, so I'm on board.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. John, we'll check it out, of course.
Kiersey Clemons has rejoined the upcoming Flash movie as love interest Iris West, while Billy Crudup has dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. He was set to play Henry Allen, Barry Allen's father. We saw him briefly in Justice League, but they've been trying to get this Flash movie off the ground for years now, and just, he couldn't wait anymore. I get it. Kiersey Clemons, we're going to get to see her in the Snyder Cut. Finally, another character who got cut out of Joss Whedon's version. I don't really have much else to say yet because I have not seen her in action as Iris West. I like The Flash. I like his characters, and I really hope they do this film justice.
Yeah, Kiersey Clemons is awesome, dude. Have you seen Dope? She's really good in that movie.
I have not.
She's one of my favorite parts of one of my favorite characters, of the show Transparent. She's fucking fantastic in that show. And she's also really good in this other show. She's quite frustrating, but she's really good in it's called Easy. It's on Netflix. I don't watch a lot of TV, but that's one of the random shows I watched, and she was in it. There's a couple episodes with Zazie Beetz and Dave Franco. Yeah, it's just kind of wild cast to Mark Maron, but she blew me away in the episodes she was in, Kiersey Clemens, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to see her career. I think she's kind of underrated.
Yeah.
As far as younger people, I believe she is like 25. I believe she's around our age. So let me make sure about that. She's a little older than us. She's born in 1993. So okay. I think she's pretty talented, and I'm excited for her to have kind of a spotlight like this.
Well, the character of Iris West is a strong, female presence. Like most DC love interests, she's a reporter. Lois Lane, Vicky Vale, they're all kind of journalists. That's like the go-to.
Yep.
I don't know why, but so we'll see. She's the Flash's Lois Lane. So we'll see how this goes down. I'm waiting for the villain announcement. I want to know who's playing Reverse Flash, because obviously that's going to be the bad guy. But I want to see who's going to be, and I really, really hope it's Bradley Cooper, because he was rumored a few years ago.
That would be wonderful.
Oscar-winning documentarian Leon Gast has died at 85 years old from natural causes. He won his Oscar for the 1996 documentary When We Were Kings, which showcases the famous Rumble in the Jungle boxing match between heavyweight legends George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. I would like to watch this documentary. I got to say, it's only an hour 20, and it's about one of the greatest boxing matches of all time.
Yeah, I've seen this shit.
Yeah, I don't even have to ask.
yeah, it's spectacular. I think it's like an easy 9 out of 10 when it comes to documentaries. For me, I think you would love it. And when we get a special kind of documentary about an individual, it very much reminds me of like The Last Dance that came out a little less than a year ago about Michael Jordan. And, this one about Muhammad Ali and about like a specific fight. You're really watching one of the most famous people to ever live. And you're watching him in his craft, and it's pretty special stuff. I think anytime you get to watch, even if you don't give a shit about the craft, I think watching someone just master something and just do it, I think is like beautiful.
Well, and that fight is I've seen the fight, and it is wild. I mean, Foreman was the heavyweight champion. He was the favorite. Ali tired him out. It's a hell of a fight. It's really like, lightning in a bottle, and it's fantastic to watch. And I'd like to carve out some time for this.
Yeah, man. I think I wonder if it's on something right now. Right here it says watch on Showtime.
When We Were Kings, 1996. Yep, Showtime.
Yeah.
Well, don't have that one.
Yeah, I it's worth the rental, I think. Yeah, or
I saw this and I immediately thought of you. In a recent interview, Emilio Estevez has confirmed that there is definitely a Young Guns 3 in the works.
Yeah. Young Guns 3, a Mighty Ducks TV show. Emilio is back, baby.
in all of our hearts, did he ever leave? I don't think
so. No, never. Especially if you're like me and you're really odd and you watch Night at the Roxbury every now and again. Emilio! Yeah. For whatever reason, I still like that movie. It's total dog shit, but I like it. There's a few dog shit movies I like out there. I know occasionally I can be a bit snobby, but there are some dog shit movies that I love. And Night at the Roxbury is one of them.
You can't be the host of Oscars Sunday and not be a little snobby.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, my heart is with so many movies that like kind of rebel against the Oscars, or just kind of like, fuck you. I like both sides. I'm kind of like when Jay-Z and Nas, they had their huge feud. I love both. Yeah. I refuse to pick sides. Yeah. Biggie and Tupac. I love both.
Yeah. You're Mac. You're playing both sides. So you always come out on top.
Yes, exactly. God. Yeah. Speaking of It's Always Sunny, I was watching some season 7 as I usually do. He's just huge. Mac is just huge. And that deserves an Oscar right there. What he's doing, we're talking about Oscars here. What Rob McElhenney does through the course from season 6 to season 7 is pretty incredible. And he's absolutely dynamite hilarious throughout the whole season. If the Oscars gave out awards to TV, Rob McElhenney would have all of them.
Well, there's the Emmys, but they're like, I love it. It's the episode where It's Always Sunny does like the awards episode where they try to win an award, and then Charlie's just like, "Go fuck yourself." It's like I love that so much.
One of the best episodes, man.
We don't need you.
What does Mac say when they walk up? He's like, "This is like the blue hole or whatever, the drink." He's like, "It's like having an orgasm." It's just like right away. It's like blowing a load in your face. You're like, what? Dennis is like, Mac.
It's too aggressive. It's too much.
Yeah. And Dee's got that light just shining in her face. Yeah. God, what an episode. Yeah. Oscar, the guy who plays Oscar on The Office is like the manager of the other bar. I can't remember that guy's name. Damn it.
Oscar.
But
his real name's like Oscar Martinez.
Oh wow. How about that? Yeah.
That might be the character's name. I know his first name is really Oscar.
He's wonderful. And that episode. Yeah. It's Always Sunny. We can always go on tangents, but I don't really know how we got there. Well, you said something about Mac playing both sides. Yeah.
There we go. I love retracing a tangent when you can,
Better do it fast before you go too deep. Yeah.
And finally, and this was just, I didn't need this. Due to a recent re-release in China, Avatar has reclaimed the global box office crown from Avengers Endgame. So Avatar is back on top as the highest grossing film of all time. Just, we truly are living in hell, aren't we?
Isn't that unfortunate? Yeah. We just did in Bruges yesterday for Oscar Sunday. Ray talks about like maybe Bruges is hell. Well, I think for Connor and I, James Cameron's Avatar is a version of our hell. Yeah. Not a fan of that one. Really was kind of blown away by it at age 14 when it came out in theaters, and I was like, whoa. And then I watched it again at home, and I was like, am I watching Pocahontas or what is this? And then watched it again, and I was like, I don't like this. And then now I'm kind of on board. There's like a whole bandwagon of people who are just like, fuck this movie. I'm kind of on that. I'm okay with admitting that. I think it becomes a trend to kind of shit on stuff.
Yeah.
And it certainly became a trend to shit on Avatar, and I'm okay with admitting that. But I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it.
I remember when I first saw it, because I was like, wow, 3D that's not red.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And, it's neat. It's a cool looking movie, but there's no substance behind it. And I don't understand why it's become this global sensation that's wiped out the box office. I just don't get it. And I don't think I ever will. I love James Cameron as a filmmaker. He's done some of my favorite movies, but Avatar is just not on that list. And Endgame was so perfect. And now it's back in number 2. And I don't like that. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, especially you mentioned that it's good, Endgame, and it has a significance. This is again just me speaking as a fan. Endgame has a relevance, a significance to film history.
Yeah,
Avatar for me just does not. It does, but I know it does because of the sheer numbers and what it did technology wise, but I just don't really care about that conversation. Someone would have done it anyway at some point. and I think the way it was done, again, like you said, just doesn't have much substance. With Endgame, you have something that wrapped up something very nicely and allowed it to move forward afterwards as well. Kind of mastered the finale of, we're ending this chapter, but we have you by the balls, so we're going to continue to make cool stuff. And that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's cool, we're gonna keep watching.
Great.
And with Avatar, there's just no, it's not really cool culturally. It hasn't really aged well amongst, just people like movie freaks, people who are just like eat up movies. And when you talk about the later 2000s, 2008, 2009, I personally don't hear Avatar brought up unless people are making fun of it. And they're more inclined to bring up Inglourious Bastards, or, there's just, or Superbad from 2007, or, you know what I mean? There's just more movies that are culturally relevant, or The Dark Knight, they just matter more to kind of fandom.
Yeah.
Sure. Give all the money to Avatar. Sure. Cool. Have fun with that, James. But Superbad and Dark Knight and Inglourious Basterds, those movies live on, and people watch them, and people really, really care about them.
Yeah. It was, it was nice to win one for a while.
Yeah. For a little bit.
Cameron had the top 2 spots. Marvel came in and took one of those spots. And you know what? They still do have one of those spots. Titanic is done. Nope. Titanic's not making any more money.
No, even Titanic, there's, we're just kind of shitting on Cameron. There's a whole, I think you and I are kind of in this boat as well. There's like a whole group of people who are just kind of like, it's fine. Yeah. It's okay. It's not, again, it's not nearly as cool or as good as Endgame.
Yeah. All right. I'll go ahead and, throw some love. James Cameron, Aliens, and the first 2 Terminators are fucking gold. You won the 80s. But
there you go. Yeah, take it back to his proper decade. Yeah.
But I'm not seeing Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm not going to the theme park. So that's it.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's just not a cool movie. I just don't believe that one's aged very well, and would be a very fascinating Oscar Sunday episode for sure.
Would be. Could be a Filmgazm too. It could go either way, really.
Very true, because you can kind of unpack all kinds of different things with that movie. Yeah.
So that's what happened last week in film. Interesting bunch of news. I think that's my favorite part of this show, is kind of just the wide variety we get of random movie news, and how that's the only thing that's been on all 3 of our shows.
Yeah. So true. Just has to be something you and I talk about. Just kind of dive into what's going on.
Before we dig into Cherry, I'd like to say a little bit about another film I got to see this weekend, The Father.
Yes.
Came out a few weeks ago and randomly dropped at some of our local theaters. And considering the Alamo Drafthouse just filed Chapter 11, I felt like throwing some love to them. And I had a gift card that's been burning a hole in my pocket for God knows how long. So I went and saw The Father, had a burger, had an apple pie. It was just me in the theater, and I had a good day. It was a very sad movie, but other than that, it was a good day. And The Father is a film. It's based on a play, and the guy who did the play also wrote and directed the film. Anthony Hopkins is Anthony, named that because he wrote the role with Anthony Hopkins in mind and was very happy he accepted the role. He's an older gentleman who's on the cusp of dementia. He's a little forgetful, but it's getting worse. And he refuses to accept this. And his daughter, Anne, played by Olivia Colman, has to do something about this. But her already kind of rocky relationship with her father is getting in the way. And the film is all told through Anthony's eyes. So you are just as lost as he is. When he wanders into a room, you don't know why he's in there either. And it really puts you in the mindset of someone who deals with Alzheimer's. And it's really, really sad, really depressing. And incredible performance from Anthony Hopkins. Like, I can see him taking home a second Oscar for this. Absolutely mesmerizing performance. I love Anthony Hopkins is one of my favorite actors anyway. And I'm so happy he's still doing roles like this. He never really did his Rocky and Bullwinkle. He never did his really. He's still doing, meaty roles. And this was just so sad and so mesmerizing, and I adored it. I hope this gets a wider release, some streaming love, and I hope people get to see this.
Yeah, I would love to see this one. Anthony Hopkins is Sir Anthony Hopkins is definitely. I'm gonna say, just give a kind of an estimate. I'd say is one of the 2025, kind of most acclaimed guys.
Yeah.
When it comes to acting, when it comes to performing, there's no question that he still has an knack for it.
Yeah.
Still has the skill, but above all has like a fire, has a desire for it.
Oh yes.
And is now had a stretch, in this part of his career. I think he's 80. Look it up. He's 80 something. And he, you could argue that this is one of the best stretches of his entire career. And I love that you pointed out that it'd be cool for him to. He was born in 1937.
Yep. He's 83.
83 years old. You mentioned that it'd be cool for him to get his second Oscar win. Of course, Silence of the Lambs. It's been too long. That'd be a nice 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Little Katharine Hepburn style comeback,
and then get a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring it.
Couple more on your way out. Yeah.
He got his first nomination in like 20 years last year for The Two Popes. And he's probably going to get another one for The Father, and he might win. Competition is going to be stiff, but he does have, but there's something in his eyes in this film. You just feel this sadness, this rage, and this confusion that's just constantly battling each other. And it really makes me afraid of dementia, and knowing that there's a very real possibility that I'm going to have to deal with that at some point, either with a loved one or, in my own head. And it's frightening. Oh, man.
Crazy. Yeah, I hope you're right, man. I think he's going to be nominated. It'd be really cool to see this be added to the resume for his Oscar resume. Mm-hmm. And if you looked at it, these titles, you got Silence of the Lambs, The Remains of the Day, Nixon, Amistad, The Two Popes, and The Father. Super fucking serious movies,
Yes.
The tone of those are just buckle up. Buckle up. Have a water by your side. Be kind of ready. Yeah.
And I've heard, like, in person, he's a very informal guy. Like, he goes by Tony, and
mm-hmm.
he's got a very, live life and be kind attitude. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's awesome, man. A guy that is waiting for his own episode on Oscar Sunday where we could just watch all of these and talk about them all. He's the man. He's the man.
Oh, I'm very glad I got to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it does, this is, if you're listening to this, it's Monday. I believe Tuesday, tomorrow, there's a release where Promising Young Woman is knocked down in price. I think it's like, I can't remember what it is. And of course, once it gets those Oscar nominations that it's going to get, it'll undoubtedly, this is just what happens. It's going to help it. It's going to help it. People don't want to believe that shit, but it will. It will when people see Promising Young Woman and Carey Mulligan. Okay, I need to watch that before, the Oscars come around or whatever. Watch it within the next month. That's going to happen.
And you haven't seen that yet, have you?
No, I'm obviously waiting for it to be cheaper. Yeah.
You are gonna fucking love Promising Young Woman.
I wonder, I can't wait to see it. And I'm very open-minded. And I've heard from you and a few other people that I will love it. And I've heard from a few other people that I'm gonna hate it. And so I'm just trying to drop all of that, because that happens far too often, where it's mixed, and that's okay. I like when people tell me I'm going to really dig something. That means that while they were watching it, they were hit by something that maybe I dig. So that's always really cool. And it's something you can talk about afterwards. I've tried to stay away from most things about that movie, most conversations and reviews and whatnot, but I've heard a little bit, and I'm very curious. That's the main. I'm very curious as to how this movie kind of plays out and what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, I for one thought it was very smart and very interesting and original, and I adored it.
Yeah, you gave it I think you said you gave it a 9.
I did, yes.
And it was somewhere, I believe it was somewhere in your top 10 of
It was in
2020.
I think it was in my top 3.
It was number 3, was it? Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So you really dug it. I know you're going to be pulling for it.
Yes.
Once those nominations are out, which of course, again, if you're listening to this, you can see those online. I think you're going to be, really kind of gunning for Carrie, and that's really cool. Of course, she's got some stiff competition, but it's going to be fun. I think that's the best category of 2020. I think there's a lot of good female performances.
I agree. Best actress is highly unpredictable this year, and
it's loaded. It's loaded at the top. Yeah, loaded.
Oscar season. Love it.
Yeah, it's Oscar Sunday. Of course, you would think that we're just going to talk about that shit there, but really that show is kind of dedicated to the past.
Yeah,
and specific moments in time in film, and that's what we're trying to capture with that show. And we're going to talk more about current stuff on here. So this is just kind of where that stuff goes. And undoubtedly, as award season is literally going and the Oscars are the only thing like left, we're just kind of waiting.
Yeah. And we are counting down the days. I've been looking forward to the Oscar nominations more than almost like anything that's happened this year so far. So here we go.
To see, and you're always curious what little differences are the Oscars going to do to all the other shows. It's always a couple random things, and I'm hoping this year it's a lot of things. I hope it's just different. I hope it's random. I hope we see things that we just weren't expecting at all. I want it to be fun.
I'm excited to see like which actors become Academy Award nominee blank. That's exciting to me.
Yeah. Same. Especially when you have seen it or are planning on seeing it. It's like it's a movie that's kind of in your grasp. It's always fun. Yeah.
It's the best.
Thank you, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, but The Father, man, I'll try, depending on, I think movies like this are going to try to crunch, they're going to try to crunch in, within this, month or so before the Oscars. They're going to try to figure out a way for more people to see their shit, and
oh yeah, of course.
Obviously that's what's happening with Promising a Woman. I expect that to happen with The Father.
Yeah, I bet it will.
And I'll be all over it. Yeah.
Well, with that, let's talk about the main event of the night or day, whenever you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Carrie. It's based on a novel by convicted bank robber Nico Walker, who was released in 2019 after a 6-year stint in federal prison. So this is somewhat autobiographical, which is very sad. This guy had a rough life, if this is true, but also it's kind of his fault. You made some rash, impulsive decisions that kind of ruined your life. And yeah, sorry.
I don't even. I mean, that's I didn't know that aspect while watching it necessarily, but as a movie, this does not work.
It doesn't.
This does not work. I mean, really, it's hard to kind of gather, when you watch a new release 2.5-hour movie and you're kind of watching it knowing you're going to talk about it. It has an effect. I'll say personally, where if I watch a movie that's maybe the same quality as Cherry, that's, I don't know, from 1994, I might not shit on it as much, but since it's coming out right now and it's kind of what some people are talking about in the movie world, if I'm going to throw my 2 cents in, I just like almost none of it worked for me. This movie, very, very, few things were to me even valuable enough to be kind of like on the screen. It's like, what are we doing here? I love bounce around, stylish, kind of disoriented films. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
But this is that, plus they're throwing, fucking title cards at you every 5 minutes. They're putting everything in the background out of focus, and just like over the top decisions kind of right from the get-go. You kind of know you're in for I knew kind of 20 minutes in, I was like, this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is a goddamn mess. The style of storytelling already, they're going to do some foreshadowing stuff. They're going to show the end of the film at the beginning. All of these decisions, just none of them worked. They all layered on top of each other, and none of them worked. Maybe one of them, or two of them, and kind of hone in on your characters or something. I don't know. It just none of it really worked for me, and so I have a hard time wrapping my head around or putting my finger on exactly what they all are, when so much of it's just kind of it's hard to process in such a short time.
Well, to me, it just feels so dishonest. Like, it feels so manufactured. Like, this is
yeah.
It's like they, threw a dart at various like personality traits and story tropes, and we're like, all right, so we've got a soldier, junkie, bank robber. All right, work with that.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Yeah. Okay. So right there is, you and I have already talked about like the town. The town is fucking awesome because they focus on the bank robber part of his life.
Yes.
There is a past of him going in and out of jail. They don't do that. They stay away from that. They focus on his bank robbing.
Yeah.
There also is a past of him playing hockey. They decide, we're not going to do that. We're not going to focus on that at all. We'll just show pictures. That's it. That's just get little tiny references. So they hone in on the bank robbing. Let's go to the drug stuff. Requiem for a Dream focuses on the drug use. It's a pretty good movie, really hones in on the exact thing that this guy's going through at this moment in his life. Cherry's like, which one, and just juggles them all at the same time. And it's just not nearly entertaining enough to do that.
Well, and I feel like everyone's so miscast. Like, they look way too young to be like dealing with these huge life issues. I just don't buy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I never felt like Tom Holland really disappeared into this. It very much feels like he's playing a part.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, one of my issues. I mean, I've got talking points here that we'll get into, but
yeah, I don't think anyone was very good. That was one of the main problems, is just the acting. It's not believable, not good,
and the characters are so painfully unlikable. Like, they are such bad people from beginning to end that you just don't get why I should give a shit about these people.
Yeah, and not bad people. Not bad people in the sense like Jules and Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction, where they're just funny as shit, and their banter is fucking hilarious.
I don't mean like interesting
these people
characters.
just suck. Yeah.
Not interesting characters doing bad things, but poorly written characters
doing bad things.
Make bad decisions that like enforce their character as bad people.
Yeah. Just not even not interesting at all. I love things about these tropes, like in other movies, but it just doesn't work here.
And I can't believe this came from the Russos. Like, with the films they've done, this is hot off their, Infinity War Endgame double feature. And this is what they follow that up with. I'm starting to think maybe they weren't the brains behind the success of those movies.
I don't think they are. I think we see clearly that with the MCU and, the ending of those two movies, it's obviously a totally different style of filmmaking than something like this right here with Cherry. Maybe take a couple of years. Maybe
Yeah.
take a couple more years before you try something like this, because it feels, you said earlier, feels dishonest, feels rushed, feels like we can do this, so we're gonna do it. And that's not cool. That's not fun, because you probably are in a position to do whatever you want right now.
Yeah.
You probably have a lot of leeway, a lot of say in what goes with stuff, and yeah, it's just a bit disappointing on their end, because a lot of their decisions, quite frankly, sucked.
Did you get the vibe that each section of this film is almost like the way somebody imagines that kind of life to be like? Like, this is what I think a soldier going through PTSD would be like without actually knowing it or experiencing it. Like, this is what a junkie would be like. Like, they were just kind of guessing.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way. It felt very gimmicky, and Tom Holland, I think, it suffers a bit here, because he feels like he has kind of no business playing all this complex of a character.
Yeah.
I felt, and this, hey, I like the guy. I thought in The Devil All the Time, I thought he did a pretty damn good job. I thought he was, kind of consistent there in that movie, and I thought his character had a cool little ride, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought the accent actually kind of worked in that movie. But here I can just tell he's trying so hard to be like the idea of an American in Seattle, like, I'm just this, opioid, heroin addict, and I just kind of cringy, kind of cringy at times, because you're like, especially you're like, hey, I've met people who have maybe gone through something similar to what they're saying in this movie, and it just feels unjust, feels again, I'll say dishonest, like you said earlier.
Yeah. It is weird that he is almost like he's trying to shed Spider-Man like very quickly.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yes.
Yeah. It's weird. He doesn't want to be typecast. So he's picking very outside of his comfort zone roles. And Devil All the Time, I do think worked, but this was too much too fast. He bit off more than he could chew. And the characters, I don't think any actor would have worked, because this character is too crazy to exist.
Yeah. And it operates, obviously, you and I mentioned right away, is that it would just operate so much better in the modern formula of a miniseries, obviously. And Tom Holland could maybe do that through a gradual, give him a gradual go at it, give him 8 hours to figure this out, not 2.5 not 2.5 to go from Peter Parker to to like, oh, hey, you're gonna all of a sudden lose all this weight and just kind of be this stereotypical, druggie. Just not for me.
I laughed my ass off at the end when they gave him like a little tiny mustache to let us know, like, oh, he's older now.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? What are we, 5 years old?
He's been through some stuff now. There's the facial hair.
You don't have a small mustache unless you've been through some shit.
So good.
So Tom Holland stars as Cherry, I assume, a college dropout turned soldier turned junkie turned bank robber. Yeah. It really does feel like movie Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's known for his role as Spider-Man in the MCU, which he will be reprising later this year with Spider-Man No Way Home. Outside of Spider-Man, he hasn't really done that much. But I feel like, because of Spider-Man, he's going to be part of the next wave of superstars. Unless this bogs him down a little.
Yeah, it can happen. I don't know. I can't think of an example right off the top of my head, but I think we have seen a really, really good example of someone not allowing themselves to get typecast, and that's Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans doing the work early on in Snowpiercer, and then of course what he's doing in Knives Out.
Yeah.
Just immediately tells everyone, hey, I'm not just fucking Captain America. You know, I can do a lot of stuff.
I would throw Robert Pattinson's hat in the ring as well. I think, you know, shedding Edward.
Yeah, I was like, for what? And I'm like, oh yeah, he was in fucking Twilight and Harry Potter. Holy shit.
Yeah, he didn't want to be the heartthrob. He wanted to be a legitimate actor who's taken seriously. So he took a lot of indie work and played a lot of really well-rounded characters, and is now, you know, ready to kind of, you know, take on the next big thing with Batman.
Well, he's ready to show the world what the work he has put in over the past decade. And it very much reminds me of what Heath Ledger did in The Dark Knight. It's like, you fuckers haven't been watching my career.
Yeah.
You should know that I'm amazing.
Yeah.
And then I've already done my best work as Ennis Delmar. So pay attention.
Then
he wins everybody's heart over. You know, Robert Pattinson's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the same thing. Anyone who has any question about that, rest assured, it's going to be okay. They'll be all right.
As Jack Nicholson once said, wait till they get a load of me.
Mm-hmm. Bang.
But I think, you know, Tom Holland may not have chosen the best vehicle for that kind of a, you know, career difference.
Yeah, we'll see. Doesn't it feel like, you mentioned how he's making these decisions. Doesn't it feel like they're kind of tonally similar? You know, just edgy, dark films. Like, is he? I would personally love to see him just be in a comedy. You know, I think he's fucking hilarious in the Spider-Mans. Mm-hmm. I would love to see him use his normal voice. How about that?
So you mean between Devil All the Time and Cherry?
And what's the next one that's coming out? Chaos, or I don't know.
Chaos Walking, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, aren't these all feel kind of like similar vibe, similar tone? Well, let's get out of here. Do a Knives Out. Do something really original. Yeah.
Well, that's what Chris Evans did so well, is he realized, you know, being different and, you know, being taken seriously as an actor does not immediately mean you got to brood and you got to be in a dark movie.
Mm-hmm.
Knives Out's a very upbeat, silly movie, but he was so great in it because he was, you know, he played such a great dick.
Yeah. He's better as a dick than he is Steve Rogers. He's better as a dick. He's a better cynic than he is leader of, you know, our world.
Yeah. Eat shit. You definitely eat shit. Yeah. It works. And Tom Holland, I think, needs a vehicle like that where he gets to, you know, be a little bit more expressive and loosey-goosey and not take it so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. We'll see. He's wicked young. I think he's 24, 25. 23, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see, man. There's big decisions to come.
And maybe it's just, you know, me, because I see him as like 15-year-old Spider-Man, that I just don't buy him as an experienced soldier with a drug habit who robs banks.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just a soldier. Yeah, not all the other stuff. Yeah. And
no little mustache is going to change that.
All of a sudden trying to look like Garrett Hedlund or something. Come on, what's going
on? Kiara Bravo plays Emily, the woman who completely destroys Cherry's life and in turn has her life destroyed by Cherry. Bravo was a regular on the Nickelodeon boy band teen sitcom Big Time Rush, as well as the Amazon original series Wayne.
And of course, Wayne. Yeah, I love that. I'm a big time Rush fan. Oh, just fucking around. I
know.
I thought this performance is pretty bad.
I fucking hated her so much. She was such a horrible person.
The character and the performance, not good.
Yeah. Another like baby face that I just don't buy having this kind of life experience. She looks like she's 12 the whole time.
Yeah. Are we at summer camp or what's going on? Yeah.
And just, you know, deciding to go to Montreal and being like, hey, we're done. Realizing, knowing this guy's emotionally fragile and just kind of leaving him to stew for a while and causing him to make that, monumental fuck up of joining the army and then being like, I was wrong. And all of this, just everything she did was so counterproductive to his health. And then everything he did was so counterproductive to her health. They were the most toxic motherfuckers. And in the end, nobody realizes shit. They're still together.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the ending is just like ridiculous. And there's so many times where it could have ended. Please let this be the last. Hey, pause it. Oh, fuck, there's 40 minutes left. And you think it's going to end again, and it doesn't. And Jesus.
Dude, it took everything in. All right. So last night I started watching this around 2 a.m. and I was already kind of,
Good God.
I was already kind of beat. We had just done a very long Oscar Sunday. And I was like, I want to go to bed, but I got to watch this thing. I got halfway through it and I'm like, and I exited the app. I was like, I want to watch some YouTube videos and go to sleep. But then I was like, Austin has to watch this tomorrow morning. He's not going to know where to start. His whole thing's going to be messed up. I have to finish this tonight. I have to do this now. I went back in and I'm like, and kept going. I soldiered through. I didn't go to bed till 5. You're welcome.
God. I feel like shit. That is. Oh man, doesn't it suck when a movie just fails you?
Yes.
Because if this was, I'll look at it right now. If this was maybe even any of the other films we've covered on this show, maybe not any of them. We did Pieces of a Woman.
Yeah.
Pretty good. One Night in Miami. Pretty good. Little Things, not so good.
Yeah.
Malcolm Murray, interesting one. Judas and the Black Messiah, solid. Nomadland, solid. United States vs. Billie Holiday, that was a fun episode. Moxie, we both liked. This is the worst one.
It is. This is our worst episode. This is our worst movie. All right, 11. We hit it at 11.
I think it's pretty clear. So we've been able to cover 9 films where both of us, are here watching them, and you've watched quite a bit more. And then, of course, for episode 1, we did our top 10 films of 2020. And then I believe for episode 3 or 4, we did our Batman 4. We did our Batman recast of the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think when you look at these movies, I think for both of us, but definitely for me, it's pretty clear that it's the worst one.
Oh, I'm with you, man. This is easily the worst one.
I think I gave the Little Things a 5 or 6.
Yeah. But
this one's definitely worse than that. Yeah.
And we ripped that one apart. So that's saying something, man.
Yeah. We're just in territory here where it's one of those movies that you just, I feel like I'm going to forget it in about a week.
Yeah. 2.5 hours too.
Oh, it happens. It happens all the time, man. Like you just watch movies and you see it on TV and you're like, have I? Oh yeah, I have seen this. Like there's a reason I forgot.
I got 3 more cast members I'd like to spotlight. We got Jack Rayner as Pills and Coke, Cherry's unnamed heroin dealer. Very creative there. He's had a hell of a resume. He's appeared in such films as Sing Street, Midsommar, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, Detroit, and Transformers: Age of Extinction. So not bad. Appearing in some big ones for an up-and-comer. Pretty good.
Yeah. He's pretty fascinating guy. I've actually I'll get the Criterion Channel newsletters every month.
Yeah. And
there was one time where I got one and it was telling me about like essentially top 5s, like recommendations basically in the Criterion collection. And he had one on there. And it was really, really interesting. I think he's like a total student of kind of the game, Yeah. And is really obsessed with just watching movies. And it was really cool. This was months ago. But I think he's got something in him. He just has made some poor, weird decisions and then some decent ones. I think there's going to be something in his career that hits, though. I think it'll happen.
He's waiting for a meaty role. He's waiting for a starring role.
Yeah, I also think he's been pitted in roles where he's just kind of like the guy you don't like. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Especially in Ari Aster's second feature.
Refresh my memory. Who was he in that?
Jack Rayner?
Yeah.
He's the boyfriend.
He's the boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who gets sacrificed at the end. Yeah.
I've seen Midsommar exactly one time, and I do not remember faces. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong performance from him, I think, just as kind of a suffocating, kind of manipulative boyfriend in a more realistic way than most movies do. 'Cause some movies press it way too hard. You're like, whoa, what? But it's a more gradual thing in a Midsommar, and I think it's something you'll catch now. As I pointed it out, I do think you're gonna like that movie more on a second viewing. I really do. I hope so.
Are you a betting man, Austin?
Yeah, I am. I love betting. Yes. Typically sports, but I'll do it on Midsommar as well. Yeah.
I would like to revisit, maybe do the director's cut as an episode of Filmgazm. I can do that.
Yeah, and maybe do it with somebody else, since you and I did it together. Maybe get another person's perspective on Midsommar, because I definitely still really like it.
Forrest Goodluck plays James Lightfoot, Cherry's oldest friend, who's kind of a naive idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Goodluck has appeared in such films as The Revenant, Blood Quantum, and The Miseducation of Cameron Post. His character, underwritten and really kind of pointless.
Yeah, like kind of this is harsh, but proppy. Kind of a prop.
Very much so. He's a prop.
I can't stand when that happens. I can't stand when a movie has potential within a character and just kind of leaves the actor and the character out to dry. It's not right.
Very true. I think that happens very much with this next guy. Jeff Wahlberg plays Jimenez,
Yep.
Cherry's army buddy.
Man, okay, now this is a movie. Here is a film within a film. Just focus on that for 2 hours. Focus on those two guys, their relationship, their friendship, how it builds, and then show him that moment when he, sad, maybe the saddest moment of I don't know. This movie's just kind of sad the whole time. One of the sadder moments of the movie that Tom Holland, his character has to go through. Focus on that being the prime conflict of the film.
Yes.
Then I think you really got something special as a kind of a war movie. I think there's something special there.
You have, you condense the entire first part into like a story that Cherry tells Jimenez, like, I love this girl. She left me and I joined the army and then she took me back and here I am. That's a great, like, sad story to tell your army buddy and really gain sympathy for the character. Like, that really is what they should have done. Focused on the military side of it and make that the movie. And it could have been really good.
Or completely cut out the military side of it. Just have him be a young, druggie who just gets addicted to whatever, just growing up. And where does he live? New Jersey? I think it's New Jersey. Fuck me if I can remember. I don't know. And I think if you did that, it's a young guy in his 20s, and then he starts struggling to find money for his addiction. So he starts, I don't think bank robbing is the way you go, because that's its own genre in film. But I think, maybe stealing shit is okay to do as part of this kind of, Requiem for a Dream. I think did a really good job of just kind of honing in on the drug part of this guy's life. And I think that's an interesting route to go. But to do the military and the love story and the drugs, all this stuff and the bank robbing, it's a miniseries. It really is a miniseries.
Really pissed me off how he got away with so many robberies. How all he did was just show up and be like, I have a gun. And they're like, all right, here's a giant stack of cash. And he just walks out. Like, there's no conflict in that area until the end of the film.
Yeah. I mean, the disrespect to one of my favorite subgenres of all time, is heist movies.
Yes.
the disrespect to, the town and Heat is appalling. Even a movie like Place Beyond the Pines has better fucking bank robbery scenes than this movie that's fucking hinging upon the bank robbery scenes. Hell or High Water, just a fucking joke. And try doing that in real life. A 22-year-old walk in with a fucking handgun with a bandana over your face. Try doing that in real life and see if people don't just shoot you. Like, are you kidding me? See if civilians don't just shoot your ass. Get the hell out of here. Like that. It is not 1952. Like, this is not Bonnie and Clyde. Maybe the worst decision in the whole plot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. And that's really saying something with this movie.
Yeah.
So Jeff Wahlberg, I just want to point out, is the nephew of Mark and Donnie Wahlberg. Pretty cool. And he played Diego in Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So
hell yeah.
Go Diego, go. So Cherry has an IMDb score of 6.5, Rotten Tomato score of 38%. Yeah. It's an Apple TV Plus original, so that's where you can always watch it. And they have not had a very good track record with films. Apple TV Plus, I mean, they've only had like 5, and like 2 of them have been pretty good.
Yeah, they're not doing too well. And their interface to me is kind of a joke. When I get on the app, I'm immediately like, get me out of here. Get me back on HBO Max. Get me back on Criterion. Get me back on Netflix, where the world makes sense. This is there's this one section I was hoping you had seen it, where it's just like, it's called like icons or something. Yeah. And it's just individuals it's like Bill Murray and Steve Carell. I'm like, what? What the fuck section is this? And it's like the main players of these new movies and new releases that they have on their service. It's fucking dumb.
This morning when I was trying to help you kind of figure out how to log in, I went to the website and I was clicking on settings, and it kept bringing me back to the title page. Like, on top of all that, it's got a broke ass website.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's
I don't know what they're doing. $1 billion company, and they can't seem to figure out streaming.
No, if we were doing a like ranking, it'd be down at the bottom. Yeah, somewhere at the bottom.
We don't really watch a lot of their, they do maybe one film every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll talk about them again, but I don't, I look with our schedule, there's really not much else from them for the rest of the year.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll take it. So we've kind of already really covered my talking points just randomly throughout the discussion.
Yeah.
So let's just keep needling this one away. What are some scenes that you thought were just a joke? Highlight something good, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, there's not much. I'm kind of struggling to even find like a rating in my mind of where this movie is. I don't know, because it's not. Yeah, it is. I guess it is pretty bad. Because I'm struggling to find things that I'll walk away with. Jesus.
Well, here's something.
Yeah. If you have something you enjoyed, yeah.
Oh, I don't.
What happened? I really can't think of anything I liked.
What happened to his first girlfriend? Like,
yeah. What the? Oh man, yeah. Okay, I already forgot about that. Yeah. What a total loose end. Just right at the beginning of the movie. Just like, fuck this. And the way he meets her, and is like, when he's narrating about her, and she just comes up and he's like, I was just kind of put off, and he's like, yeah, I'm just thinking about how I wanted to fuck her. Yeah. And then he like walks up to her and she's like, hey. I was like, okay, maybe you're going for a little bit of honesty here, but that was just fucking creepy. That was just fucking creepy. To hear Spider-Man say that, no sir. No sir. Better not be saying that shit about Zendaya, or we'll all kick your ass.
She'll kick his ass.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Jesus. Have you seen Malcolm and Marie? Yeah.
But Tom Holland, I get that he's 23. Dude looks 15. And I just do not buy him having that kind of alpha male, like testosterone, I'm going to fuck that girl kind of mentality. I don't buy that at all. He looks like a high schooler in a lecture hall. Like he's not the right guy for this role. I mean, I'm trying to rack my brain about anybody who could have like fit that. And I just don't see it.
I'll say, if we're sticking with young people, I think this movie, there's not really anybody who can make it work. But if we're talking about people who are, in their early 20s, I think both Lucas Hedges and Timothée Chalamet could both give this a go. I really do.
All right. No on Chalamet. I think he looks too young as well. I
Fair enough.
Totally am on board with Lucas Hedges. He would have been great.
He's done some of this stuff. He's been his back. He plays a pretty good kind of junkie, and I think he would look just right in like an army uniform.
Yeah, like he's got this. The way he kind of holds himself in a lot of his roles, you feel like he's been through the fucking ringer already. I mean, Tom Holland doesn't really look like someone who used to do anything.
Yeah.
He looks like, he just walked out of the factory. Lucas Hedges looks like, he's already been through the, just a lot. And I would buy him having the, the weight of, being a soldier and having a drug problem. I would buy that from Lucas Hedges.
Yeah, I think he'd be the top. Yeah, I think he's got to be the top choice.
Yeah. And you got to recast Emily immediately. She's the weakest link of this film.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That could be.
Honestly, Zendaya would have worked.
Of course, yeah. I'm trying to think of someone who's not, because Euphoria, she's into drugs a lot. I'm trying to think of someone who's got. I'm trying to think of someone who could get a chance, like even. What's the girl's name from Moxie? She's like 26. I liked her a lot. What's her name? Look it up real quick. I thought she was pretty damn good in that movie. At times, I didn't like love the character, but I thought Hadley Robinson. I think someone like that, or even I think maybe even a little bit younger, like Caitlin Dever from Booksmart. I think she's got a pretty young face too. But this girl looks like really, really young.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I think there's a lot of choices. I think like Chloe Grace Moretz could kind of pull this off. Who else is out there? And I also think on Tom Holland's end, I think like someone, I don't think we have to choose a white guy like Lucas Hedges. I think like Kelvin Harrison could do it. I think Jarrell Jerome could do it. Again, the point is that Tom Holland looks too young.
Yeah, that's the
I think there's other guys in their early to mid 20s that have more of like a masculine feel. I think that's definitely like a point of interest in this movie.
The scene where they're at like the theater and Cherry just starts like yelling at the guy down there for not wearing a jacket. I'm thinking like, I could kick this guy's ass. Like, why is he picking fights here?
Yeah.
You just know he's out of his depth here. He doesn't have he just doesn't have it for this role. And I do like Tom Holland a lot. I think he's a great Spider-Man, but he needs something more fitted to his strengths than this.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he's doing an all right job with the narration? Do you think that was okay?
No, I thought that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
This isn't Goodfellas. Like, we don't need I don't care who you are. Like, what is this?
Yeah, definitely. It's not nearly interesting enough, or doesn't have a good enough screenplay to be a Goodfellas. A Goodfellas. Yeah, just doesn't know where to go. Doesn't know where to go, this movie. And I really am going to struggle to recommend this to anybody. Yeah.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. As far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a junkie, medic, bank robber. Yeah.
None of it makes any fucking sense. I give this film a 6, and that's being generous. I give it a 6 because the scene where Jimenez dies in the explosion, Tom Holland is absolutely fantastic in that scene.
Okay.
And that scene to me is worth checking out. But the 2 hours and 10 minutes around that scene, not quite so much. So, yeah, 6.
Yeah, I think I'll settle on a 5 for now. Just feels right. Just down the middle, just kind of like whatever. It is what it is. We'll move on, and hopefully next week catch something a little more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week is going to be our first real blockbuster, if that word still means anything these days. The long-awaited director's cut of Justice League, a 4-hour super film written and directed by Zack Snyder, who is finally able to show us his vision of Justice League thanks to HBO Max. In addition, City of Lies is scheduled for next week, and so is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. But since we haven't even gotten a trailer for that one, I think it's a safe bet it will get a last-minute delay. I don't know why it's still saying March 19th. I would bet money that's not happening.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I am. Hey, I said I was a betting man, so let's go for it.
Regardless, our focus is on the Snyder Cut, which we hope you'll come and hear us talk about. Also, on next week's show, we'll talk about the Oscar nominations that were released this morning. Of course, we record this show on Sunday nights, so regrettably, we're not able to include our immediate reactions to the nominations. We're going to let the announcements stew for a bit, think about it for a week, then discuss them next Monday. It's the best we can do.
Hell yeah.
Not ideal, but it's what we got. Don't miss Leprechaun on Wednesday's special St. Patrick's Day Filmgazm, the 1954 Federico Fellini drama La Strada on Oscar Sunday, and whatever the Giggle guys are cooking up for Friday. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome week and keep watching movies.